Hey guys, Mike from Wicked Woods. The Wood-Mizer LX250, it's really a slab mill, has bunks to put big stationary logs, doesn't have any hydraulics, doesn't really have any way of turning things. So we mill a lot of big logs and it works out, but once in a while we have smaller stuff like this, and when we have plenty of live edge of this size in our inventory, we just turn it into dimensional lumber. I'll show you with a non-hydraulic mill how we turn this into lumber. This is a black walnut and you're right around 7 feet long, so we're going to turn this all into 8/4 stock or 2-inch thick lumber. And the way we're going to cut this, we'll end up with some double live edge and then single live edge, and then the rest of it's going to be dimensional. But you'll see exactly how we process it. Basically have the machine set at 2 inches, and we were at that 2-inch mark and I was about to bite back in, and the machine decided it wanted to determine the thickness and keep heading straight down. Generally, you can wait for the machine to stop moving before you go forward, which is the intelligent thing to do, but you can see what happened to us at the back of the log. The mill bit down right about the 4-inch mark, kept lowering down, less than ideal. That's a good way to snap your blade and have it go pretty wonky. The blade is not in good enough shape to get a good reference on this log. So we'll change the blade and we'll keep milling. Sure, we hit a rock, so we'll switch her out. Okay, so you can see we cut this 2-inch piece off the top. So how generally we do dimensional lumber, is we have a market for both double live edge and single live edge slab. So what we want to do is flip this log 90 degrees, and we'll take another heel cut, and then we'll take another 2-inch cut. What we're going to end up with is some double live edge slab, some single live edge, and then the rest dimensional. This is not cut through. This is where our blade bit in and gave us a little reveal of the log. But yeah, we'll get this off, get this flipped, we'll get back to milling. Ready? This one is dimensional on the bottom, and then so we have a single side live edge slab. So we'll go ahead and stack that, and then basically the next one we're flipping as well. Just covered by the internet laughing at me. Yeah, so we flipped it 3 times now, and you can see from the end of it, we're square on all 3 sides. So now at this point, if we want to make 8/4 or 2-inch dimensional lumber, so our cap piece is going to be at 16 inches, and then basically we'll get 8 pieces of wood after that. This is all the end caps of the log that it took for us to make a nice square. So this one's dimensional on both sides, and you can really see where the oxygen is coming from the end of the log and really oxidize it. So all this green that you see on black walnut, it really does get dark. So single live edge, double live edge, and then because of that, this is what we ended up with. And when I say we make dimensional lumber, I don't mean 2x4s, 2x6s. What we're really trying to do is make that log as perfect of a square as you can and as large of a square as you can. Out of these are all almost 12 3/4 inches wide, which is certainly premium walnut. It's more and more challenging to mill small logs on this big mill than it is to mill big logs. Right around the 16-inch mark is right around what's kind of worth our time. And we harvest a lot of stuff smaller than that when we buy, obviously, intact trees. So what happens is we have a couple buddies at smaller sawmills, so they take the limb wood, and then we have a lot of turning blanks. You know, we have a lot of cutouts that get turned into cubes, waxed up, and just sit on shelves. So that's it for this one. We're gonna grab another nice log and see what's inside of it. Thanks, guys.